Coming up, we will be talking about OSU's end of the Sexual Civility and Empowerment Unit and what that means for Ohio State students. We'll also take a closer look at the recently reopened Mirror Lake and how students are liking the new renovations.
And later, we discuss the competition between Chick-fil-A and Cane's in order to find out which place actually has the better food, along with a look into how students are adjusting to the recent shutdown of popular bars near campus.
Hello and welcome to Buckeye TV. I'm Chase Ray.
And I'm Monica Pedrozo. Last week, there was a controversial protest on campus in defense of the Second Amendment. Buckeye TV reporter Nathan Wilson was there to cover the action.
Hello everyone, this is Nathan Wilson. Last week, a group of individuals held an open carry firearm education walk on campus. I was there with the Buckeye TV crew to film the protest and find out students' reactions to the group's ideas. The protest was not organized by a name group, but instead a group of Ohio gun owners who knew each other and wanted to spread their message to OSU's campus. They were met by some counter-protesters whom they engaged in spirited debate with.
Which I agree about the violence and stuff like that. But the guns is the ones that's not doing the violence, it's the people that's doing the violence.
People are able to get the guns. People who should not be able to have guns are being able to get them.
Right.
So I just think we need better gun regulation.
So what brings you guys to Ohio State today?
Well, basically we're here today to basically just show, I'm here specifically to show my support for Black gun owners. That's specifically the reason of this rally today. So that's why I came. What about you?
Well, same thing pretty much, and so, to show that African Americans that are law-abiding can carry as well as white Americans, pretty much.
Okay, what brought you out to protest against today?
Just with what's going on in the world today with the large amount of school shootings and the crime that's happening in every major city, I felt that even though I couldn't single-handedly change anything, I wanted to show that there was a second side to the issue and talk to those folks over there about what their issues were. I'm not here to take away anybody's Second Amendment rights. I think that if you want a gun to protect yourself, that's fine, but I think that we need more regulations, make it harder for certain people to get guns, and to make a more exhaustive process so that we don't see the same problems that we're seeing today happen ever again.
Be educated on both sides, Don't be so biased and open your mind to what other people are trying to tell you, because it's not about we just want arms to look cool, guns to look cool. That's not what it's about. So
There were many ideas debated at this protest, and the discussion is sure to continue. For Buckeye TV, this is Nathan Wilson signing off.
Opinions on the protest, OSU remained open about the event in order to allow everyone to feel informed. The same attitude was also shown with OSU's recent change in Sexual Civility and Empowerment Unit. Buckeye TV reporter Maggie Kinkoff has more.
After the Sexual Civility and Empowerment Office was closed this summer, Ohio State students were left with one question: what resources are available to survivors of sexual assault? We visited the Office of Compliance and Integrity to find out.
Start out, Title IX protects all students and all employees from experiencing any type of sexual harassment or discrimination, and that includes things like sexual assault, but also dating violence, gender-based stalking, and things in that nature.
Next, we ask what they were doing as an office to support survivors after SCE was closed.
We're hiring 3 new intake and outreach coordinators who will be people that someone can come and sit down and talk with, and they can also explain university processes and get them connected to resources, help with academic accommodations.
Student Legal Services is another great resource available to students.
We have true confidentiality because we are not a university office. We contract with the university to provide services. Also, we can link survivors and victims with other resources that are on campus as well as off campus.
Self-defense classes are additionally great resources to help all students.
So today you guys observed our second class of our Rape Aggression Defense, or RAD class. It's a class that we offer each semester.
Attendees seem to enjoy learning to defend themselves.
I would definitely recommend this class. It's awesome. It's kind of long, I guess, if you're looking for something shorter. Maybe this isn't the right thing, but it's only 3 hours once a week.
Here's how you can sign up.
You can email at rad@osu.edu.
I hope these resources have answered your question. I'm Maggie Kingoff for Buckeye TV.
Students at OSU are also pushing for changes when it comes to issues surrounding sexual violence. This summer, an undergraduate student organization known as Advocates for Women of the World revived its Banner Up campaign to raise awareness for sexual violence. The group distributed banners to more than 30 fraternities and sororities with messages written on them that advocated for an end to rape culture. The campaign serves as a movement for a more inclusive, positive environment where everyone feels safe.
After nearly 2 years of construction following the tragic death of an OSU student, Mirror Lake has recently reopened with an improved layout. Buckeye TV reporter Ismet Uskadar has more on the story.
With the construction at Mirror Lake finished in July, students are finding new ways to utilize the space given to them. With easy access to the Oval and Neal Avenue and plenty of space for students to hang out with friends or work on assignments, Mirror Lake is becoming a popular location amongst the student community. So how much time do you spend at Mirror Lake weekly on average?
I spend a couple of hours here and there, mainly if I have a book to read or I'm meeting up with friends. It's a beautiful sight to see, just sitting on a park bench and making sure that all my work is done and I'm in a relaxed environment. That's the most important thing for me. So it's a great area.
So every day when I come back from class, I spend at least an hour here just reflecting and relaxing from the workload that I had that day.
And what do you see yourself doing the most when you come to Mirror Lake?
Well, most importantly, it really has to do with the vibe that Mirror Lake provides for the community, and not just the OSU community, but the Columbus community in general. Especially coming here and studying or reading, or just having a good time, maybe relaxing on a hammock or sitting on by the amphitheater. It's just a great setting to bring everyone together and kind of call a place home.
So usually I'll just sit and relax, watch the water as it flows, just to get me relaxing. And watching people run, and sometimes I go for a run. It's actually a lot of fun, and it shows how Ohio State as a community is coming together since the opening of the lake.
Yes. And since the reopening of Mirror Lake, have you noticed the commute around campus being easier or a little more difficult?
I would say the commute is just as easy. There's a lot of pathways that are convenient for not just the scooters that now we have, but for students as well. Not to mention that Mirror Lake is the perfect area for what we would consider the mecca for student organizations to come by and be a part of the community and to really kind of implement themselves and embed themselves into the OSU society. So that's cool.
It became a lot easier, especially mentally, because when you hear the water, you hear the people, you hear the birds singing for you, and you just go and you know it's going to be a good day, and a lot of good things are going to happen once you walk from here.
With Mirror Lake now open to the public, students are utilizing the space to relax in between classes and appreciate nature. Mirror Lake has also become a popular location for student organizations to host events for just campus community, and has definitely made the commute around campus much easier for most students.
OSU fans were filled with excitement as Ohio State blew Tulane out of the water in last Saturday's home game. Buckeye TV reporter Maggie Kinkoff was there to get in on the action.
Next up, we'll be taking a closer look at free iPads given to all freshmen here at Ohio State.
And later, we discuss the debate between ChickfilA and Cane's. Which one is better? You'll find out soon here on Buckeye TV.
Ohio State is partnering with Apple to show its commitment to preparing students for the digital workplace. Here's Jonathan Engel with the story.
From the Evolving Fair to Buckeye-thon, Ohio State students can frequently find free food and swag around campus for them. But this year's freshmen received quite a bit more than just t-shirts and canes. As part of the university's digital flagship initiative, all Ohio State incoming freshmen received an iPad Pro as well as a keyboard and Apple Pencil that was fully loaded with all the software they'll need for their time here.
I think they're very useful, and I use them like all the time to do my homework, and I like them a lot. A lot of my teachers expect us to go on like documents and slides on our iPad, so they're really easy to access.
I think it's a load of crap because now like other students have to buy them for classes, and the freshmen are basically getting like this giant like expensive thing for free that no one else gets. I have a lot of friends that are like taking chemistry and they've had to buy iPads just for that class even.
Initially, I'm just very jealous. I wish that I would have gotten one. Could be okay. I mean, some people don't have access to technology, so I mean, it kind of levels the playing field.
Besides the iPads, the Digital Flagship initiative will also bring a number of iOS design labs to OSU and its campuses.
We are actually working on the first iteration of the design lab, and it will actually be a bus that we sort of retrofit into a mobile design lab space. We hope to launch that by the end of this semester, fall semester, and really the programming will start in spring.
I think it's a really good opportunity for kids who are into tech stuff and who want to learn how to develop apps. I think that'll be really nice.
From Buckeye TV, this has been Jonathan Engel.
iPads aren't the only thing that students will need for school. As school is back in session and students are getting their supplies in order, one of those needs are books. Here's Nisha Whitfield with the inside scoop on ebooks versus textbooks.
In recent findings, Ohio State has been said to be using ebooks rather than textbooks. Students say that ebooks cause their eyes to have discomfort, but also textbooks cause their back to have discomfort as well. Let's find out which is worse. Your opinions on ebooks versus textbooks?
So yeah, when buying books for classes, I'm always in a predicament whether to buy an ebook or a textbook. But for me, usually with textbooks, I like to buy the paper version. But with more of like a storybook, which I'm a history major, so I get a lot of storybooks and whatnot, I like to buy the ebooks for that.
I honestly think I prefer textbooks. Ebooks, I think they're really expensive and it's kind of easy to lose the code, and something I like about having like an actual book in front of me.
Since you prefer ebooks, do you ever find it to be discomforting when you have to read for long periods of time with your eyesight or vision?
No, I've never found that to be a problem.
So there you have it on ebooks versus textbooks. I'm Nisha Whitfield with Buckeye TV.
You won't need an ebook or textbook to see a dinosaur at OSU as the Orton Geological Museum introduces a Cryolophosaurus to the Orton Hall entryway. The dinosaur was originally discovered in Antarctica by Ohio State professor Dr. David Elliott in 1991. Fundraising beginning in March 2017 was able to raise $80,000 to bring the fossil to campus. The dinosaur is scheduled to be officially unveiled on October 7th.
A month ago, students from all over the world arrived in Columbus. They are not just international students, as they will stay at OSU for a semester or two. Buckeye TV reporter Tristan Roulette-Verkmeister has more.
There are currently about 55 students here at OSU. For them, coming to Ohio is the best way to practice their English and benefit from the excellence of education. We met with them to know how they're integrating into the American culture.
I'm from Italy, and the main difference between my home country and the United States is food and activities.
The assignments are sometimes could be like tough because like I study marketing, and the thing is like you have to know the environment, like the market environment, and is like totally different here and in my country.
I'm from a very small university with like 300 people, so I can't really call this a campus, but here in Ohio I have a really big campus with a lot of things happening. There's always something going on. I guess student organizations are the best way for me to meet people.
What do you miss the most from home?
I think my friends, because I belong to tennis club in Japan, and they're all really kind and like we're really good friends.
Exchange students attend events such as a global engagement night and movie screenings. Snack hours are also organized so that they could learn more about each other's culture. the Office of International Affairs initiated this social integration a few months ago.
For the past 2 years, we have matched the incoming students with a current Ohio State student, so they're in communication with their partner prior to arrival, and then meet that person when they come to campus.
Extensions adapted pretty quickly to the US, mostly because they knew what to expect. The Office of International Affairs organizes events and is also able to help them regarding courses or immigration issues. For Buckeye TV, this is Tristan Rodriguez-Meister.
As new students arrive on campus, they'll discover that there is a lot to check out here at OSU. An example is the Gateway Film Center, which is the local theater that not only presents a variety of films, but also provides a class location for OSU students and gives local artists a chance to shine. Here's Alex Jang with the story.
Here at the Gateway Film Center, not only does the theater provide indie films that are hard to find in the major theater franchises, but they also support local communities and OSU students. Here's Gateway Film Center over all the other schools.
They show more of the indie films, more of the, I should say, rare films that you would find in a big theater.
In what way does the Gateway Film Center support local communities and artists?
The way that we support artists in general is by screening films from around the world and presenting them in a way that's respectful to the work, on big screens, with great lighting and great sound.
How is Gateway
Well, the university, first and foremost, is one of our biggest supporters, both from an economic standpoint and also just from the wonderful support we receive from the students, faculty, and staff at the university. Of course, the center was formed through a partnership with the Ohio State University and the City of Columbus, and we take that investment that was made into us very seriously. So we're constantly finding ways to program that relates to the education and goals of the university. And then, like I said, there's lots of screenings that are filled with students, and we're happy about that.
The theater also provides discounts for students with Buckeye IDs. So if you're bored or in need of affordable entertainment, you can always come to the Gateway Film Center. This is Alex Jang for Buckeye TV News.
Coming up next, we will be discussing OSU's steps towards improving their mental health services.
And stick around for later when we talk about OSU's new party scene after the recent shutdown and relocation of various bars near campus.
Ohio State's long history is a part of what makes the school what it is today, and a major part of that history includes donuts. Over on High Street, we have Monica Petrozzo to tell us about historic local business.
Tradition is a huge part of what it means to be a Buckeye here at The Ohio State University. And while the university and the places around it continue to grow and expand, some places haven't changed. Buckeye Donuts has been a stable part of the OSU experience for almost 50 years and is still going strong. Buckeye Donuts was founded in 1969. Their mantra? To serve fresh-baked donuts and piping hot coffee 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Anyone that went to campus, that went to Ohio State in the 80s or the 90s, if they were to come back today to visit, they would recognize very few things. Buckeye Donuts being one of them.
Buckeye Donuts is more than just a hot spot for students. It's a loved tradition for the whole community.
I've come to Buckeye Donuts since 1972. There's no place in this town for better donuts. So we are here every day for the last almost 50 years, 46 years, and we're going to keep coming.
Like in many areas of OSU life, the fans are loyal, and the people are passionate about their favorite donuts. What do you love about Buckeye Donuts?
The donuts, I mean, it's pretty much what you come here for. I'm a big chocolate and sprinkle guy, so.
Everything I've had from them is good. Everything from the Buckeye Donuts to the croissant egg sandwiches, so it's great.
Not only are there over 33 varieties of hand-cut, fresh-made donuts for customers to enjoy, but also a full breakfast menu. And what else? Gyros.
It's a great, late night snack, late night, after the bars close, a nice fatty gyro, french fries, and all that is fantastic.
For the incoming freshmen at OSU, the tradition of Buckeye Donuts is merely beginning. How was your first experience eating a Buckeye Donut?
I'm amazed, to say the least. Taste, 10 out of 10. Texture, 10 out of 10. Tummy feel, 10 out of 10. It's the 3 T's right there.
Despite everything that's going on around them, major change is not something to expect to see at Buckeye Donuts anytime soon.
They're broken. Why fix it? Part of our charm is the fact that we're kind of a throwback, really. It's like almost like a time machine. You know, a campus time machine.
Whether for a quick breakfast run, a late night snack, or anything in between, Buckeye Donuts is an upstanding loved tradition here at OSU, and it's showing no signs of fading. For Buckeye TV, this is Monica Pedroso. Although donuts are a tasty treat, eating too many can definitely contribute to the dreaded freshman 15. Buckeye TV reporter Brooke Simon has more on how to deal with this occurrence.
Most people have heard of the freshman 15, a phenomenon in which students gradually gain weight in their first year of college. However, many students don't realize that it is a consequence that can be easily avoided by just 2 simple changes to their routine. It's been a month since school has started, and college freshmen have a lot on their minds. During this new time, many students forget the good nutrition and physical activity they were used to prior to starting college, thus gaining the dreaded freshman 15. Group fitness classes are free to students, and there are a variety of options such as yoga, Zumba, cycling, and Pilates.
This semester I'm teaching, it's called 30-30 barbells, and then I'm also teaching kickboxing. So the group fitness classes are free, and you don't have to sign up. You just have to activate your group fitness pass online at recsports.osu.edu.
What advice would you give to freshmen trying to maintain a healthy weight?
Definitely just come to classes. Don't be scared. All the instructors love meeting everyone, and we always ask for freshmen.
Healthy options can be found on campus at all dining facilities, even though you may not realize. One good tip is to be mindful when choosing what to eat. What would you recommend as better food choices in the dining halls on campus?
Just about any fruit and vegetable I would recommend. We have quinoa on all salad bars. We have lots of composed salads on the salad bar as well, with lots of whole grains, vegetables, fruits, lean proteins at every single operation.
What advice would you give students on maintaining their current weight?
In my opinion, it's portions, making sure that you're walking more than riding the scooters, moving your feet, standing when you're studying versus sitting. So just being active, releasing energy, and watching your portions. I think those are probably the 2 best pieces of advice I would give.
Staying active and healthy on campus and avoiding the freshman 15 is not as hard as it seems. For Buckeye TV, I'm Brooke Simon.
It will be a good idea to keep those tips in mind this football season as Ohio Stadium introduces new food options to football games. Some new food items include ribs, apple pie tacos, and other shareable snacks. The hope for the new food option is that it will fit every fan's wants and needs. Football fans can also look forward to seeing old favorites such as hot dogs, brats, and nachos.
With mental health services being an obvious need for students on campus, many students have begun to question the steps that OSU has taken to improve their own mental health services. Buckeye TV reporter Kayla McDonald has more on the story.
Last spring, University President Michael Drake promised Ohio State students updated mental health services after mountains of complaints and a rash of awful tragedies. It's been several months and students are beginning to ask, will these changes ever be made? With an overworked staff and a dwindling budget, Ohio State's mental health services have been stretched thin for a while now. Over the summer, President Drake established a task force to identify and recommend solutions for any problems in the current procedure. This task force recently released its final recommendation, mainly focusing on improving current counseling resources, expanding delivery mechanisms, and enhancing safety around campus. As of yet, no actual changes have been made to the mental health services here at Ohio State.
OSU PD and the Department of Public Safety have been on high alert with higher crime rates. Ron Holmes has a story.
Whether you live on campus or off campus, moving back to Ohio State can be an exciting time. But what many students do not realize is the high rate of crime on campus. Since move-in day on August 18th, 140 crimes have been reported with the Ohio State Department of Public Safety and the Ohio State Police Department. At that level, that equates to roughly 3 a day or 1 incident every 8 hours. Students say safety is one of their #1 priorities. So we talked to the Ohio State Police Department and got some helpful tips for students who live on campus to stay safe in their dorms and walking around campus. Ohio State Police Department recommends that students always lock their doors and close them behind you and never leave them open even if you're going to the bathroom. By doing this, you ensure that your belongings remain safe and locked behind a locked door. When walking at night, never walk alone. And if you have to walk alone, try to talk to a friend on the phone or make it seem like you're busy.
I always see campus security around, especially late at night,
and there's lots of, it's not a good thing, but there is lots of police activity, which they're protecting the streets, but the unsafe part is that there's a lot of crime happening, and we get alerted about a lot of it.
So if you live in one of the dorms like this building right behind me, make sure you keep your doors locked and do not let other people in. And if you have to walk at night, make sure it sounds like you're busy, you're walking with a friend, or talk on the phone. For Buckeye TV, I'm Ronald Holmes.
Additional steps towards a safer campus have been made as Ohio State's Department of Safety recently notified students about a new free safety app called Rave Guardian. The app is said to include faster delivery of Buckeye alerts and safety notices, as well as the ability for users to share their GPS location with friends and family when traveling on or around campus. The university hopes that by providing this free resource, it will add a level of comfort and safety and security.
There's a new rivalry on campus, but it's not about sports. It's about chicken. Buckeye TV reporter Ethan Gunn has more.
Hi, I'm standing just outside Cane's, a staple here on High Street. Over the years, Cane's chicken fingers and sauce have found their way into the hearts of many OSU students. But over the summer, a new ChickfilA just down High Street opened up and is looking to give Cane's a run for their money. I'm going around campus to see if most students lean more towards Cane's or more towards ChickfilA. Let's find out.
So do you prefer Cane's or Chick-fil-A?
I'd probably go with Chick-fil-A.
And why is that?
Well, I mean, it's kind of hard because the sauce at Cane's is better, but I wish I had it with my Chick-fil-A. Other than that, the chicken's better, I think, at Chick-fil-A.
So do you prefer Cane's or Chick-fil-A?
I like Chick-fil-A.
And why is that?
I really like their sauce. I think they offer a good variety with the Chick-fil-A and the honey mustard and the sriracha. I think their chicken's pretty good, too.
So their sauce trumps Cane's sauce?
Definitely it does, and they have the milkshakes that are fire.
So do you prefer Cane's or Chick-fil-A?
I'd probably say Cane's, but I also never really had Chick-fil-A much until it came on campus.
What about Cane's makes you like it so much?
I've always been a fan of the toast and the sauce especially.
Though there's no clear winner in sight, it is easy to see that fans of both Chick-fil-A and Cane's can find something unique to each store that brings them back each time. With Buckeye TV News, this is Ethan Gunn signing off.
Although there may be a rivalry between Chick-fil-A and Cane's, students can have a peaceful mind with the fact that they still have access to both. The same can't be said when it comes to house parties versus bars near campus, as many bars have been shut down. Reporter Chase Ray has more on the story.
The nightlife culture is something of a staple among college students that live on campus, and Ohio State has one of the most busiest nightlife options among colleges all over the country. With over 20,000 students between the ages of 18 and 23 living off campus within 2 miles of each other, house parties are becoming a weekend ritual at OSU, especially during football season. However, it didn't always used to be this way. With the recent closures and relocations of high street bars like Ugly Tuna Saloona, the O Patio and Pub, and Two's Dive Bar all within the past 12 months, students are spending less time bar hopping and more time off campus.
The thing with bars is they can just be overwhelming. There's so many people there that you might not know. With house parties, usually a lot of people there you either know or have similar interests to. And I just think house parties are a lot more intimate than the bar scene.
I think they choose house parties because it's easier to get into, especially for underage kids, and also no one's really watching them in case like things go wrong. With the new bars, they keep being pushed farther and farther away from campus, so it's easier to go to house parties.
Ohio State students, especially the ones under the age of 21, are flocking in herds to off-campus house parties more than ever.
Well, for starters, house parties, you kind of get to see a lot of your friends there, depending on who you go to. Usually it's somewhere you know. It's usually cheaper than bars. Bars can be pretty expensive, so I can see the appeal of going to house parties. But also bars, there's something to just like going out and going somewhere new and like seeing new places. You get to meet more new people there. And there's so many different places you can go with bars. It's not the same thing. House parties can be kind of redundant. They're pretty much the same every time.
For Buckeye TV, I'm Chase Ray. Thanks for watching. I'm Chase Ray.
And I'm Monica Pedrozo, and this has been Buckeye TV.